Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this video it's going to be the start of a new series on making a wireless button box for steering wheels, or indeed complete steering wheels. So I ordered this yesterday, day before yesterday, from Ultimarc. They've got a place in London and in America. I thought it was coming from America, but it ended up coming from London, so I got it really quickly. And what it is a little Bluetooth games controller. So for want of a better word, joystick board. It's called the BlueHID. And the company is Ultimarc. I'll leave a link to their website in the description. And I also ordered their compatible Bluetooth dongle to go with it. So this little board is a very fast, low latency Bluetooth wireless board. It's got 32 inputs. You can have buttons, joystick axes, rotary encoders, all sorts of things connect to this. It takes a little battery at the back, CR2303 I think it is, to power it. Obviously connects to your PC with the dongle and should give us all the options we need for a wireless steering wheel or wireless steering wheel system. So first thing I'm going to do is try and connect, download the software and try and connect to this and see if we need to update any firmware or anything. And just get that side of things working first before we start connecting buttons to it, at least temporarily, using some jumper leads and seeing what this thing can do, demonstrating it. Then we need to figure out a design of a button box for a steering wheel that will encompass this. So I'm going to break this down into a series of videos so that you can depart, once you've got the basics knowledge of how to use this and play with it yourself, you can depart from my design and go and do your own thing with it. And if you want to stick with this and copy my design of button box, which is not going to be anything fancy, for this project I'm going to replicate a BTCC set of buttons for my BTCC rig. Okay, so the first thing, connect this to or try and connect this to a PC and update its firmware, or check what firmware version we've got first of all. So for that I need to go and find a battery. So I have popped to the shops, local garage, CR2032 battery. So this just goes into back. Now, as far as I understand it, that should be detectable. So, time to stick the dongle in the laptop and install the software. So, if you have Windows 10, you've already got Bluetooth 4 compatibility. So, come down to the taskbar, go to the Bluetooth settings, double click on it. Bluetooth will be on. Add Bluetooth or other device. Bluetooth. Let it scan. It will find the Ultimarc Blue HID. Click on it. And go done. says that Ultimarc BlueHID is connected. Okay, so when you come to the BlueHID.com website, got the details about the board. Then you go here, utils and config, uconfig utility. So that's all the instructions for it. But we have to go download. While I'm here, I'm going to download the BlueHID technical manual. And down here, I'm going to click the uconfig. Right, so I'm going to launch the config installer. All done. So to test that the BlueHID's working, the Windows seeing it as a game controller, as you can see here, I've connected to the very first pin in the top left hand corner, and the pin that you see the black wire connected to is ground. On each collection of pins there'll be one common ground pin, and all I've done is connected that to a simple push button. So if we now set this up in uconfig as a switch or as a button, we should see it light up in the Windows game controller calibration settings and register the button press, which in turn should work in any racing game as a button. So if we open up uconfig, down here in the bottom you'll see it says boards available 1. That means it's connected to your BlueHID via Bluetooth. And then what you've got here is these blue pins represented on the graphics. Obviously you can see the board, and it's all these pins are what you've got on your actual board. All these blue ones are common ground pins. So like I was saying about the button, I've got my ground for the button, or one side of the button, connected to this blue pin, and this very first pin I've got connected to the other side of the button. And over here I've selected that the pin that's got the red square around it at the moment, I've selected that it's going to be a switch for a gamepad. It's I'm labelling it as button 1. Secondary I've called button 1 as well. The down action, i.e. when I push the button down, needs to be set to normal primary, and when you let go of the button, so the up action needs to be set to clear. So that now will work as a button press in a game for, you know, whatever you want, changing up a gear, adjusting the brake bias, whatever. Okay, so we can now, so what I've done also, just show you this while we're here, in settings I've put the disconnect timeout. So this is the disconnect when the BlueHID board goes to sleep effectively to save the battery is after 100 seconds. You've got the option to leave it stay connected, so it's always on, always looking for input, or wake on any pin, or wake on J2 to 6 only. So apparently the bottom one, J2 to 6, that's a limited number of pins on the board, and that's the most conservative for battery use. The wake on any pin is the next best like saver of battery, if you like, and stay connected obviously is the least favoured option in terms of battery life. So I've put it on wake on any pin because I've got a button connected already. That means anytime I push my button, if the board's gone to sleep, when I push my button it will wake up. And obviously you can change the number of seconds before it goes to sleep. But just going to leave it there for now. So that's pretty much, that's going to be the end of this video. That's all, it's not at the end of the video. 2, 3. Right, so for now all I'm going to do is leave this button, this switch button assigned, because I think for the purposes of getting up and running and for this first video in the series, that's enough. So what we'll do now is we'll just prove that that's working by going to settings, devices and printers. You've got the BlueHID here, double click on it, right click on it, go game controller settings. It's the 6-axis 32 button joystick with hat switch. Go to properties, and what we've got here is a test environment. So if I now press my button, you see that button 1 is lighting up. So Windows is recognising this as an input from a gamepad. Okay. So for the first video in this series, I think that's far enough. Hopefully you understood that. Hopefully you can see how simple it is, at least setting up switches and button presses are. In the next video we'll take a look at using the BlueHID for the 6 axes that it's got, so we can use it for pedals or potentiometers or encoders, stuff like that. So we'll take a look at setting that up in the next video, or different types of input if you like. And then in later videos I'll take a look at the design of an enclosure for a steering wheel button box, because I feel that that's where this is most useful, because the last thing you want really is a USB cable attached to a steering wheel while you're spinning around. So the fact it's Bluetooth wireless connection for a steering wheel makes perfect sense. Obviously if you don't like my design and want to take it further or do different things, hopefully by the time we get to that point you'll be proficient and understand the BlueHID well enough to go in your own direction. So thanks for watching. Smash the like button if you like the video. Please leave comments, any questions that you've got. I'm more than happy to help. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, we'd really appreciate it if you did. So until the next time, thanks for watching.